Hello everyone, CaddywhumpusGamer here, bringing you another episode of Minecraft Awakening. Today's episode we are going to be making some items from Pam's Harvestcraft. The first item is a thing called the Quern, or acorn, and we're going to need one of those, and we're going to make 3 pressers. The recipe is just 6 iron, 2 pistons. I already made 3 of them. Alright, we're going to need those, we're going to need these, we're going to need pressure plates. Alright, so we're just going to put these down here, and I'll move them in a little bit to get them where I actually want them. Now the quern is strange because it takes pressure plates as the fuel source. Now there's 6 recipes. You can turn wheat into flour, you can turn potatoes into flour, you can turn cinnamon into ground cinnamon, rice into flour, and rye into flour, and then nutmeg into ground nutmeg. So we can actually just throw grain in there like that. Okay, now the presser. The presser does quite a few things. Let's see, soy. So I'll just throw these in here. Recipes, there's a whole bunch of different ones. You're going to need this for processing the honeycomb from the apiaries, which is one of the other things we're going to be building in this video. You can pressurize water and get bubbly water, which you can use for making like soda and stuff. Now some of these things like cactus fruit, if you press those you can get fruit bait. You're also going to see what that's for. Cotton seeds, you'll also get grain bait. Wax comb gives you beeswax. Quite a few things. You can put wood in here and make paper. You also, let's see, soybean will give you silken tofu. One of the things that we need the presser for is to make sugar. Oops, you can't shift click into this for some reason. So if we put sugar cane in here, we get sugar. You can see if I look for the uses, you can make paper, you can make the blocks out of it, you can make punji sticks, and you can make nature seeds. Other than that, oops. Yeah, so in order to get sugar, let's see, you have to have the presser in order to get sugar, which can be a little bit annoying, but it's cheap enough to make, especially since, you know, let's see, how much iron do I have now? I have 50,000 iron essence, and I have 98,000 iron ore, and this will get me anywhere between, you know, almost 200,000 to 600,000 iron ingots. So yeah, depending on if I use the sag mill or not. Okay, so from the soybeans you get silken tofu. Now you can eat that as it is, or you can throw it in a presser again. So what I like to do is a hopper going into a chest with a presser on it, a hopper and a presser, and then, you know, like a thing feeding into that. So I can just put soybeans in the top and all the products come out the bottom. Alright, so if you press the silken tofu, you'll get firm tofu and soy milk. Alright, so one of the things you're going to use the tofu for, or one of the things you can use it for, oops, I only want 1 string, and firm tofu like this, you can make fish trap bait. Alright, so fish traps. Let's just look up trap, because we're going to make a couple of different things. We're going to make the fish trap. This is the recipe for that. We'll make a few of those. I only got enough for 2. Alright, and then animal traps. Now the other thing we're going to want to look at, let's see, bait. I made fruit bait before, which is like, I can do 3 apples and a string to make fruit bait like this. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take the animal traps and you put them in a hole in the ground, and you need at least a 5x5 grass area with this in the center of it. Now these can share the same grass, meaning I don't have to have like 4 spaces in between them. I can just have 2 in between the traps. So we're going to go ahead and put a couple more of these in the ground. And then you're going to take your fruit bait or whatever type of bait you want. There's fish trap bait, and then there's fruit bait, veggie bait, and grain bait, and it's depending on what you make them with. As far as I know, they all give the same items. It's just different ways to make them. So we're going to put some fruit bait in here and in here. Now, why would you want these traps? What these actually do is they simulate catching animals like pigs, rabbits, cows, chickens, and then what you would get if you killed them. So you can get eggs, feathers, raw rabbit, raw chicken. You can get all these different items from these traps, and it just takes one bait and gives you an item, and it takes a few minutes for each one. And you can get leather that way. You can get bones. One of the reasons I want this is I want eggs because I want to make a chicken farm, because you get Victus or life from this, and we're going to need that to make the extra hearts from Tinker's Construct. Alright, so moving on, the fish traps. These have to be submerged in the water, and they need the same 5x5 area. And I believe these can share too. I hope, now that I'm saying it. So if we put these like this, and then we go in here, I'm going to need to divide the bait up between 3. So put them in here, here, oops, and here. Alright, now from these traps you'll get all sorts of different fish. And fish aren't that important, but one of the things that we are going to need fish for, and normally for making the fish bait, if you don't have the tofu, you're going to need to use fish to make it, and it takes 3 fish to make enough to get 4 fish. Now, one of the reasons we want the fish is because we are going to need, come on, we are going to need these guys, the green heart fish. These are, you know, fairly rare. You have to, the easiest way to catch them is the fish trap. You can cook them, which I wouldn't recommend doing because you are going to need 3 of these for each green heart that you're going to make. So we are going to need 30 of these at some point in the game when we go to make the rest of the heart containers. It's actually funny because aside from the Archaean bellows, and the fish, I have like everything to make these green hearts. Alright, so this, as soon as this fills up with the 18 items, it stops working. So you have to come check these every once in a while, clean them out. Like I said, it takes a minute or 2 to actually catch an item. Alright, now the next thing we're going to be working on is the Apiaries. Alright, let's see. This thing takes forever, come on. There we go. The Apiaries are item frames and then wood. So we'll just make a bunch of these, and I want a bunch of these. Eventually I will automate these hives because it is possible to automate the hives. I haven't figured out a way to automate the traps yet. I'm not sure if it is possible to automate those or not. Okay, now the next thing we're going to need, oops, can't spell, need 2 E's. We're going to need queen bees. Alright, now the apiaries, we're going to put these down over here. Let's see, we got a view to the sky. Normally the leaves would be out to here, so 1, 2, and then here. Alright, now these, you do not want to share the same 5x5 space, if I understood right. According to the wiki, if you share the same area, then there's like a penalty. So for these, you want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then place it. 1, 2, 3, 4, place it. 1, 2, 3, 4, place it. 1, 2, 3, 4, place. Actually, I can just line them up with that. Alright, that's enough for right now. And then we're going to put queen bees in here. These queen bees, you will find beehives in trees as you're exploring. You break them up and you get a queen. And I got all these. Okay, now the thing is, just like this, hang on a second, let me sleep so that it's daytime. Now if you leave them just like that with no flowers, they will not produce anything. So what you want to do, and I found out the easiest way, we're going to need either red or yellow flowers. So if you have found a bloom doom, which is those walking rose bushes, and you've killed them and you've gotten a rose bush, one of the easiest way to get the vanilla flowers is you plant the rose bush down and you go like this on it with bone meal. And then you just keep doing this for, say, 2 stacks. So one of the reasons that I want to get the bees going is the fact that the honeycomb products have, I believe, ordo in them, and I'm going to need that for Thaumcraft. Alright. Now that you got a bunch of rose bushes like this, make sure you take your rose bush, one of your rose bushes, and put them away. Okay, now you'll remember in one of the previous episodes we made the alchemy catalyst. So this is underneath the mana pool. Now if we drop rose bushes in, and we're going to do this with all the rose bushes, you can see we get peonies. Now if we drop the peonies in, we get dandelions. And if we drop the dandelions in a minute, if we drop dandelions in, we get poppies. Alright. So these beehives need either dandelions or poppies. I'm not sure. I think they can use the rest of the vanilla ones. So you can see if we put this here like this. Oops. Let's put red for this one. And like I said, I'm going to need the hives in order to get ordo for Thaumcraft. I have been working on the catacombs over there, and I'm getting close to being able to set up my infusion altar. I'm really looking forward to that because there's so many items, like seeds and stuff, that I need the different runes for, and in order to get the runes, I need to be able to make them in the infusion altar. So that's something that I definitely want to get to as soon as possible. Alright, and you want to fill that whole 5x5 area with flowers. And I'll have to come back and fill in when I'm done and have more time. Alright, now they will start producing wax combs. These queen bees, what happens is, every time they produce something, they'll output an item. So there's 18 slots. They have 18 durability. Now what will happen is, when all these slots fill up, the queen is all the way down to 0. And what you're going to do is, you're going to take her, put her in a crafting table. You're going to make royal jelly. You're going to use the royal jelly with a bee grub, which you will normally get one. I'm not sure. It should be 100% drop, I would think. I usually get 1 or 2. Out of all these projects, I usually get enough to make another queen out of it. So you combine the royal jelly and the grub and you get a brand new queen. You throw her in the hive and you keep on going. So what I want to do is I want to pipe in and out from the bottom, and I want to pipe all the 0 durability bees into a crafting thing, turn them into jelly, pump all the grubs into a thing, craft them into new queens, and pump the new queens back in so that I can automate the whole system and have it going. Alright, so that was pretty good for an episode today. We got the bees set up. We learned about the fish traps. I didn't put bait in that one. We learned about the fish traps. Let's see, do we got any of those heartfish yet? Ooh, we got a turtle in the other one. Jellyfish, turtle. And then, like I said, these, I'm trying to get eggs from these so that I can start a chicken farm. You can catch wild chickens, but you have to breed them 3 generations. So you have to take a pair, breed and get 2. Breed those 2 to get 2 more. Breed those 2 to get 2 more. And then either they're domesticated after that, or there's like another generation, I forget. And we also learned about the presser, the quern, animal traps, the fish traps, and the apiaries. So that's been a full episode. So until next time, this is CaddywhumpusGamer signing off.